Welcome to Atlanta's Commercial Real Estate Show, brought to you by Bull Realty, the show for property owners and business leaders. Host Michael Bull brings you market analysis, advice, and opportunities around Atlanta.
So let's, in this segment, talk about the industrial sector. We're here at Atlanta Leaders Group with all you beautiful people. We're also on the radio stations, so thanks for joining us there, iTunes or YouTube. Now, the industrial markets has been really interesting because as some of the industrial guests I have on the show call it, it's now the sexy sector. It's not the dirty shoe sector anymore because it is growing so well. It's been so strong. The occupancy, the rental rate growth has been great. The vacancy reductions have been fantastic. If you're an industrial real estate owner of multiple properties, you're doing the Snoopy dance right now. I mean, it is your time. And you may have waited a long time for this, but the industrial market is doing well. And you know the reason, right? The main reason is all the growth in online sales. You know, a lot of that growth has moved from the retail sticks and bricks to the industrial properties. That stuff has to be stored somewhere, it has to be delivered to us. So the industrial market is going strong. You can see the vacancy now here. This is Metro Atlanta. Now, when you talk about industrial, it's a large area right around Georgia, around Atlanta. You see vacancy went from, if you look at Flex, went from 16.5 down to 8 and 3/4. Warehouse went down, so vacancy continuing to. And then rents. Now this rental rate on this chart doesn't look like it's that big a jump, but you're talking about cheaper rents in warehouse space. It is quite a jump. If you look at Flex up to 912 when it was below 8. Absorption, strong. You know, you used to hear about spec space being built in industrial. You wanted to find a tenant or a user to build the building. And for years when I've been interviewing industrial developers and owners, they aren't building spec. Well, guess what? Now they are. And it's renting fast. And they know what to build. And they're building a lot of the larger buildings that, you know, are 1 million square feet and 800,000 square feet. They're building some large buildings, but we're also starting to see some strength in the smaller buildings that are closer to Atlanta and cities like Atlanta to kind of give us that last mile delivery. So the industrial market expected to continue to climb. The cap rates, again, as we talked about before, when you talk about cap rates, you've got to look at what happened to sell that quarter or that year. They'll flow, but cap rates will be continually dropping. Continually dropping. If someone owns an industrial building, they want to sell it now, it's a beautiful time because you have the benefits of expected growth, strong demand, and low interest rates. So it's a great time to sell those buildings. And it's hard to find them. It hasn't been that favored of an asset class in the past, and now it is. Because if you think about what's going to be a strong sector, I do a commercial real estate question every day I answer on YouTube, and I answer a commercial real estate question. One question I had last week, one of them was, what is my suggested sector for investment in 2017? And of course, I always caveat that, well, that depends on the person and the company, their experience and their, you know, what they want to do. But if I just pick a sector, I would pick industrial. I would pick industrial. We have a lot of things that are going to keep growing industrial real estate. If you don't mind dirty shoes walking around, you know. So here's some sales that happened recently. If you're interested in some specific sales, you see a cap rate here in Medina of 5.17% on a $43 million sale. A 7.5 cap rate on a Class C building. Okay? There's a Class B building, that recently sold as well at just under a 7 cap rate. So, and of course, you know, when you talk about cap rates, and one of the things I warn people about is, you know, like on the show, we're talking to the entire country, and we talk average cap rates. Obviously, these cap rates get adjusted on the length of the lease, the strength of the credit, how the building's constructed, where it's located, and all sorts of things like that. So down to the submarket and individual building, every building can be different. So the potential factors impacting industrial. We're going to have continued growth in online sales. I think everybody understands that and knows it's going to happen. That's what's going to really strengthen the market moving forward. new home construction. If Trump's able to bring manufacturing back here, there could be some negatives or positives to what he's doing for industrial real estate. And then we're starting to see a big pickup in new supply around the Atlanta market. You always want to watch new supply if you're investing in the industrial sector. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Bull Realty, and to all of our sponsors linked below. For more Atlanta forecasts, advice, and opportunities, subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and AtlantaCommercialRealEstateShow.com. And be sure to connect, comment, and share on your favorite social media sites.